What's up, Redheads? It's your guy J Red checking in. Good morning to everybody. I still got my morning voice on, but I was up jamming to Monica versus Brandy. Brandy versus Monica. However you want to say it. They had a versus battle. The only way you haven't been hearing about it or didn't watch it is if you're living under a rock. But anyway, I'm here to give a breakdown about the battle and who I think won. I'm going to go by round and tell you who I felt won the versus battle. Because what they'll say is, oh, R&B won, which it did. The culture won. All that stuff is good. But versus wouldn't be versus if it wasn't a winner to determine, that's the whole reason there is a versus. That's what versus means. It's a battle. But shout out to the queens. Monica and Brandy are R&B titans. I call them R&B titans because to me they fall under the same umbrella as a Whitney or Mariah, but I felt like they were a little bit under them, but they were the young, like they felt like our older cousins or something. You know what I'm saying? Like they felt like our big sisters or whatever. They were teenagers when they first came out. And yesterday they broke the record. I told y'all. What did I tell y'all? This will be the biggest versus battle yet. And it was 1.2 million viewers all on Instagram Live. Lord knows how much they did on Apple Music and all those other places. But I want y'all to keep in mind, those are just the views that just showed up at the time. It's probably way more than that for people who logged in and logged back off. So you always, count that twice. So it could have been 2 million, 3 million, ain't no telling. Anyway, so first battle was What About Us from Brandy versus Everything to Me with Monica. Monica, I'm sorry. Now, I guess you could say I'm a little biased because I am a Monica fan, but I love Brandy as well. But Billboard has a throw it off as scorecard, so this is my scorecard. And I'm not going to be tallying them up. I'm just saying who I feel like won the battle. So he is from Brandy versus Monica, A Dozen Roses. I gotta go with Monica on this one. Some of these songs like that Brandy played in the beginning weren't really her popular songs like that. So it was a hit and miss. I don't think that Brandy turned up until the middle a little bit. So then you have Full Moon from Brandy versus So Gone from Monica. Now, even you Brandy fans know that Monica won that. Like, So Gone is a classic song. Full Moon, to be honest, after, I guess, Never Say Never, Full Moon was a dope album, but I don't think that Brandy was at that level anymore once the 2000 hits, the 2000s hit, when the new millennium came. Monica was still putting out classic records. So yeah, Full Moon versus So Gone, gotta go with So Gone. New Monica. So then you got I Wanna Be Down featuring Queen Latifah, Yo-Yo, MC Light, and all them, versus Don't Take It Personal from Monica. I would give it a tie, but since I am a Monica fan, I'm a fan of Don't Take It Personal. I think that's my favorite Monica record. I remember being a child listening to that song. It was just so dope. But I could see how someone would choose I Want to Be Down over that. So it could be a tie, but I say Monica won that one. So then you got Baby by Brandy versus Like This and Like That from Monica. Got to give that to Brandy. Baby was a very dope song. That whole first album she did was classic. So I got to give it to her on that one. Next, we got Angel in Disguise from Brandy versus You Should Have Known Better from Monica. Gotta go with Monica. Angel in Disguise was a dope song, and I'm sure Brandy fans are gonna be tearing me up in the comments, but I feel like You Should Have Known Better, especially with the video that came out with it back in the day with Young Buck in there, and someone said that was really about C Murder. So You Should Have Known Better. I think that was a real dope song from Monica. So yeah, I give that one to Monica. Then you got Missing You with Brandy, Tamia, Glad It's Not in Shaka Khan from the Set It Off soundtrack versus Monica's For You I Will. That's a tie. That is a tie. For You I Will cross the ocean for you. I can't sing, but no, Missing You, both of them came from soundtracks. Set It Off, great classic movie. With Queen Latifah and Jada Pinkett and all of them. And then you have For You I Will, which was on the Space Jam soundtrack. So those were just two great songs. It's hard to even compare those. I can't really choose a winner, so that's a tie. Next, you have Almost Doesn't Count by Brandy versus Why I Love You So Much by Monica. I gotta go. I'm gonna give it that one to Brandy. Almost doesn't count. Dope song. I think I would give that definitely over Why I Love You So Much. Even though Why I Love You So Much is a dope song from Monica, I'll give that to Brandy. Next, you got Brokenhearted from Brandy versus Love All Over Me by Monica. Love All Over Me. Are you crazy? You know, shout out to Wanya Morris from Boys to Men, but hey man, Love All Over Me, that was one of Monica's last songs that just topped the charts. But when she came back with that album, I think it came out like 2010, 2011, they had Love All Over Me and some other tracks on there. Oh my God, like that track was dope. Next, you got the new singles. This is when the middle of the round when they switched it up going into, because you know Verzuz is 10 song, it's 20 songs altogether, but then you have battles of 10 rounds. I hope I'm saying that right. They separate them. So 10 songs and then they go another 10 songs. But anyway, so Monica switches it up. She plays her new single featuring Lil Baby called Trenches. Cool song, but it's just promo. And then she put out Anything to Find You with Rick Ross. So that goes against Top of the World from Mace. I think that's right. I think that's the battle. So yeah, because Monica's going first. So yeah, I give that one to Brandy. Top of the World featuring Mace. Dope song. Definitely still jamming. Then you have Still Standing from Monica and Ludacris versus Brandy's Borderline. I ain't gonna lie. Oh well, Borderline just came out this year off B7. And then Monica featuring Ludacris. I wasn't really a fan of either one. I ain't gonna say I'm not a fan of it, but I mean, Borderline, nobody really knows that like that yet. And Still Standing, it's okay. I don't know who I give that to. It's y'all choose that one. Monica Commitment versus Brandy's Love Again. I'm not really fond of those songs as well. I mean, it's up to y'all to decide. I don't know who really won that round. Next, we have Slow Jam for Monica versus Put It Down for Brandy. I'm going to give that to Monica. Monica and Usher, come on now. That song was so dope. Slow Jam. And then, see, this is the thing with Brandy. Brandy when it came to Put It Down, she didn't even remember. My homeboy DJ PM said this, that he felt that the Brandy and Chris Brown collaboration, Put It Down, was manufactured. And it was evident last night when Brandy was like, hey, yeah, play the Chris Brown song. She didn't say the name of the song. She just said she just know Chris Brown was on it. So yeah, PM, shout out to you. You knew what you was talking about with that one. I felt the same way. So yeah, Slow Jam compared to that, come on now. So then we have The First Night from Monica versus Who Is She to You from Brandy. I may give that to Monica. I'll give that to Monica. What y'all think? Next, you got Knock Knock from Monica versus Best Friend from Brandy. Of course, gotta give it to Monica. Knock Knock. Oh man, y'all gonna be like, man, he's so biased. He's a Monica fan, but hey man, I love Knock Knock. Knock Knock was just classic. Those Missy and Monica collaborations, man, can't go wrong with that. Best Friend is still a dope song though. Some people will say Best Friend over that, so I get it. Before You Walk Out of My Life for Monica versus Sitting Up in My Room for Brandy. I give that to Brandy. Sitting Up in My Room, dope song. Oh my God. You already know, dope production, classic song, so got to give it up to Brandy for that one. Next, we got Talk About Our Love with Brandy, with Kanye West was on that one, and then versus Sideline Home for Monica. Oh, that's a hard one. That's a hard one, because Talk About Our Love was dope. I don't know. I may give that one to Brandy because, you know, that Kanye West collaboration was real, real dope. Sideline Home was a dope song too, but yeah, may give that one to Brandy. Next is Put That on Everything from Brandy versus Trust from Monica and Keisha Cole. Trust, as you know, I'm a trustee. My homeboy Jay Smith is a trustee. That song was so hard back in college. So yeah, I'm gonna go with Trust. Trust. Next is When You Touch Me by Brandy versus Just Right for Me from Monica. I'll give that one to Brandy off the Full Moon album. Next, you got Have You Ever by Brandy versus Angel of Mine by Monica. Ooh, got to give that one as a tie. That's a tie. Man, because a tie. Got to give that a tie. And then the last one, of course, was their collaboration, The Boy Is Mine. Both of them win that one, of course. But these are my opinions, my thoughts. I'm sure y'all gonna eat me up in the comments, but I feel like Monica makes music for the streets as well as the charts. I feel like Brandy really kind of fell off musically. Now she's more of a celebrity than Monica. Like she's done more as far as like acting and different things like that. But when it comes to these records, Monica was able to carry the 90s into the 2000s. I think Brandy kind of slowed up after the 2000s. I mean, she still put out Full Moon, which was cool, but I don't think that she made any classic songs that she did in the beginning of her career. But Monica just now in the last 10 years started slowing up. But yeah, man, shout out to both of them. Check out their playlist on Tidal and Apple Music. Dope. I'm so proud of them. I knew that this was going to be the biggest battle thus far. Not because I feel like it was the best battle, but I feel like the feud has been ongoing. It's still people being shady, finding stuff to make memes about with them, looking like Monica didn't want to be there, all that other stuff. But shout out to those beautiful ladies, and I hope they continue to make some more music. Of course, Monica looked like she's about to put out another album because she put out that single with Lil Baby. So shout out to those queens. I can't wait to hear about the next Verzuz battle. Make sure you subscribe to youtube.com/We Authentic Network. Get your ResView t-shirts, and your Ryu and Ken t-shirts, all available on resview.com. And make sure you hit the like button for me, please. Please hit that like button. But this is J Red. Follow me at JAYR3D on all social media platforms. And this is ResView. This is Red Speaks. And I'm signing out.